I mean, it's great that you mentioned Tupac. I mean, is another legend that you've worked with.
Yeah.
How did you first come into contact with Tupac, and what did your first feelings on it?
When I first met him, my original feelings with him were that he was very loud and obnoxious. So when he would come to New York, we'd all be standing in the VIP line to get into a club, and he'd be so loud and so obnoxious that I would get out of line and go back to the back of the line if he was near me, because I just didn't want to be near the drama. I don't like drama. I don't like, I don't like that shit. I'm very to myself. I'm very quiet. I go everywhere alone. So I don't want to be in a circus. I don't appreciate that, and I don't enjoy it. And that's what he had around him at all times. He was just, he was always the really gregarious guy. He would pull in people that he knew and just build a giant circle of people that would all be having fun. And when he was incarcerated, that's when he reached out to me. I had helped him. I didn't help him. He couldn't help himself at this point in time. So I reached out to some friends of mine in the Fruit of Islam and asked them if they would secure him before he went to prison. From after his sentence came in to after his verdict came in to when he was sentenced, he felt like somebody was trying to kill him. And I don't know if that was true or not, but I did have friends that could help. So I called on them and asked them to help. And he reached out to me. I didn't realize they were going to tell him that I had arranged it. Mm-hmm. And it was just a favor. I didn't pay any money or anything. I just called in a favor. And he wrote me a letter from prison thanking me for doing that. And we wrote back and forth, and, that's how we became friendly. I befriended him when he was incarcerated.
Of course. I mean, what can you tell us about that time when he was in prison? Was it Dannemora who was in prison?
It was Dannemora, yeah. They put him all the way as far north as you could in the state of New York. He was up by the Canadian border, and they did that so that it would be hard for people to go visit him. Even for me, it was a 6-hour drive. So in order to be at the prison at 8 o'clock in the morning, I had to leave my house at midnight and drive all night to get there.
Wow.
They did not make it easy. Sure. And then Dannemora, at the time, I'm sure it still is, was the roughest prison. It's where the worst of the worst were incarcerated, the murderers, it was just a really hard bid that you did at Dannemora, and they put him there,
Wow. So for the trial that he went to court with, and I can't imagine where his mind was at that point.
It had to be difficult, because remember, he was famous at the time.
Sure.
When he went to prison, he was, I'm not sure what the equivalent of it today would be, but he was famous. He was very well known. Mm-hmm. He had just dropped an album that went double platinum.
Of course.
And back then, if you weren't there to promote your music, it didn't go anywhere. Yeah. So the fact that it, had success without him being able to promote it is just amazing.
For sure. I've read somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not, you actually sent him the books. Was it the Machiavelli book and The Art of War, I think was one of them that you sent?
I did.
Wow.
I sent him, I do this with all rappers that are incarcerated even today.
Sure.
Any rapper that goes to prison, I send them books, because if they're going to just sit still in a cell, they might as well feed their minds and come out stronger and better than they went in, right? That's kind of my philosophy. So yes, I did that for him. I did that for Pimp C. I did that for Capone from Capone and Noriega. Wow. I did that for almost everybody that was incarcerated back around that time.
Wow.
Keith Murray.
Of course, it keeps the mind occupied and
absolutely.
Of course.
And what I was doing was I was sending them my favorite books. Okay. So I still do that today. Like the books that have really impacted me. I read a lot. I'm a bookworm. I'm a geek. So I spend a lot of time reading. So I send the books that have really inspired me, hoping that it will inspire them behind the walls as well.
Wow. And I think he kicked on from there when he got released from prison.
I think maybe it inspired him. You think?
I think so. I think so with the Machiavelli album. Wow. Amazing. Amazing.